Meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I don't think we have any additions to the agenda that I'm aware of. No? Okay. Motion to approve the agenda.
I so move.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Nothing submitted for public comment, I assume. Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Does anybody have anything for the consent agenda?
Move to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Principal reports.
All right. We have winter fast bridge data, so I've had a chance to kind of look at some of that data. In the fall, our baseline data, we had 26 students receiving title math interventions. We are now at 24. Keep in mind some of those students would have changed. So like some come out, some others may have gone in to needing title services. And then for reading, we had 42 in the fall, and now we have 37 that are receiving Title III reading interventions, Tier 3 reading interventions for Title I. We have Emma who's doing the math now, so that has helped a great deal to actually have someone who is planning and doing all of those things. Overall, we had a ton of student growth, so really focusing on individual student growth. Very few students did not have some growth in both reading and math, so that was good to see. Title I monitoring, all of our documentation was submitted. Our interview is in March. I have no idea what that looks like, so we'll see. Misty tells me they'll just like tell us what we're missing or what we should work on or different things like that. I've never been through the monitoring process, so.
And John will get a copy too. It goes to board president, principals, and super.
Okay, so we'll have that interview coming up in March. I think some of this is coming ahead on the agenda that Russ has for looking ahead. We did some interviews for our Title I EL position, and I did make that offer this week to Mrs. Moore, so that will come up later on the agenda as well. The PE discussion will also come up later, so I'll wait for that. Building updates, we're still waiting on the humidifier from HA. Russ reached out to them and they said they'd let him know a date, and the last he heard is that we're waiting on a part. And so he doesn't know when that will be. We still are not on that schedule. Fire panel is in, all of that stuff is working, has been tested, all of those things, so no more fire watch. I think some of the people over there are very grateful for not having to walk every hour and a half, because we were actually walking every hour and a half, despite what we were told we had to do, walking every hour and a half. And then the fob system is also, like, you've got some more quotes, and I think Russ asked for another one. So last week, another New Vision Security, it sounds like. He hasn't gotten a quote from that yet, so he will be waiting on that one before he wants a decision made on that. We also started reading month in February, so the students are working to uncover a dinosaur. So if you go over to the gym, you'll see a giant dinosaur. They're trying to uncover the fossil of a giant dinosaur. They're doing that through their reading minutes, so that's been fun so far. So far, Jake and Dave have come to read for us, so that's been fun. Dave somehow got the staff some days of jeans because yesterday the kindergartners were commenting how tall he was, and Mrs. Redka and I had a bet that if they commented on how tall he was, they could wear jeans. And I was like, oh, you guys are too good at this. So Dave was like, yeah, you owe them jeans, because they asked how tall I was. They're finding out how brutally honest the elementary kids are. Like Jake sat on a chair. That was a whole fiasco in kindergarten. Also, the kindergartners are brutally honest about some things. But it's been good to have them in reading, so we've got a couple more coming. Our parents' activities, we're doing dirt cups, and they're doing a dinosaur day where they have a dinosaur egg, and they're digging fossils out of a dinosaur egg. We've had several of those, so those will keep on. And then at the end of the month, all of the elementary school is going to go to the Dinosaur Museum in Dickinson as an end of reading month celebration. Last week I attended the principal conference in Bismarck. I have a really hard time being out of the building. It's a personal problem that I have. So, but it was good to go away. The conference was very good. Much worth my time, for sure. So thankful for the staff I have to step up and take care of some chaos while I'm gone. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I'm wondering what kindergarten teacher is teaching them, because they were very worried that I was going to break the stool.
One is
Well, they also work, you sat on the carpet somewhere too and you had a hard time getting up. So
Well,
you don't have to sit on the
I
carpet
wasn't going to
anywhere.
sit on the carpet twice. It was a little stiff for that.
from the mouths of children is what they say.
Anything else for Lindsay? Okay. Cool.
Okay, so I was at the conference with Lindsay, and we had some breakout sessions together, and it was a very good conference. I have everything on here. I won't go into so much depth, but just a reminder that we have NAEP testing coming on February 19th for our 8th graders in math and English. And then we have our FastBridge assessment, which we took just a little bit later than elementary because of our testing. So that is just being sent home actually tomorrow. Engagement survey, we have to take that, and that's from the state, and so our students will be taking that tomorrow. For reading month, our theme is mystery, so we had to start counting deputies, Deputy Tibor and Deputy Klatt come just as a start off for mystery season, I guess, and they did some fingerprinting class, like how to review fingerprints, how to find fingerprints, and the kids had a lot of fun with that. We had some mystery readers, Mrs. Bigness and Mrs. Kessel read already. I'm not going to tell you the mystery readers coming yet, so those are a mystery. We did start some mystery STEM activities with Mrs. Quince this week. The advanced biology students also taught one of the sessions, and they did an awesome job. Parents came and joined for the STEM activity, and then joined for muffins and juice. We have multiple activities coming up. And at the end of the month, our kiddos are going bowling for their end of the month reading celebration. Geography bee, we have a geography bee on February 20th in the morning. Spelling bee, we have students, I wrote out all the information there of who gets to go and who did a fantastic job, so congrats to those that made the spelling bee. Mrs. Bartz will be taking them February 24th to Hope Christian Academy for their next competition. Olympics, we have a high school Olympics coming up in February here, and then in March we will again be holding junior high. I didn't put that on there yet just because we're just planning all that. So for high school Olympics, they will be going to Beach, and those students are listed, so that should be a very good team. Career and Tech Development, Mr. Isaac will be taking the sophomore class at Bismarck State Industry Workforce Exploration Day on the 26th. And then we have the concert on the 26th for 5th and 6th grade, and then we have parent-teacher conferences coming up on the 4th and 5th of March. And just as a reminder that we have early release on March 6th because we will be holding the A to Z speech meet here. So then everybody will be leaving school at 2, it will be dismissal. So, questions on anything so far? Or if you have questions another day or whatever, please feel free to call. I see Dave a lot. Talked to Jess yesterday. They're good, always good questions. I love it.
Anybody else have anything? No. Okay, AD report.
They did not submit an AD report. They were at their final meeting for girls basketball and organizing next year's schedules today. So there's no report at this time.
Okay. We'll move on to old business. The Hebron Co-op discussion, possible action. I don't know if you guys want to make a decision tonight or do a special board meeting for that. What's everybody's feelings as far as response from community members, discussions, anything that we've had that anybody would like to share?
I've gotten a few phone calls, a couple of parents wondering about why they were doing like the girls volleyball and stuff like that, and explained to them our thoughts on doing all the sports together. That was a few of their concerns. I'd say, looking at what we got from the survey back, I would say that it's overly positive, so I guess I'm leaning positive on doing the co-op, I guess.
Anybody else?
The one thing about the, like on Russ's PowerPoint that he presented to the community, I don't think like anyone really talked about it, but he had on there like prom and snowball and everything. Like, is it necessary that we do all those the first year? Because if parents are already mad about going over there for like senior night or sports, like do we?
Yeah, I think that was just kind of more of a
Like that doesn't have to necessarily be
down the road
right?
thing where,
Yeah, okay.
you know, everybody gets more acclimated. It was just something that was options, I think.
Yeah, right.
I don't think that was anything that was necessarily part of the co-op,
Co-op, 'cause
right?
it's not
Because
like
it's not,
that.
yeah, it's not anything that we have to do with the High School Activities Association, right? I think it was just something to bring the two schools together more so than anything.
Which I'm not saying it's not a good idea for down the road, but just the first year might be.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
I think prom might have been a typo on there, maybe.
No, that did
It
come
was-
up.
That was up?
And part of it is they already come over for homecoming. And sometimes we have homecoming dance and stuff, just, so you know, they've always been invited to that since we've been co-opted, but I think the other stuff was just like,
Yeah.
if we,
And I'm not saying it's a bad
Yep.
thing, but just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it was something that we're like, oh, yeah, this is all part of everything that we're talking about. I think it was just more about, these are things that we could decide to do down the road.
Yeah, I think we get a lot of positive feedback on it anyway. Yeah, FA stuff is a big selling point for a lot of people.
That too, yeah.
And yeah, the speech of the student congress and all that stuff too, getting a lot of positive feedback on that too. Hopefully goes and then going their way with the cheerleading. I'm sure we're gonna have some girls that are probably interested in trying that out too, so I think it's good that way also.
Yeah, I'll say that pretty much any conversation that I've had where people have called me or text or whatever have been very positive. I haven't really had anything that was really a negative. The biggest concern, I think, was volleyball. I mean, the numbers between the two schools are going to be a larger number, and that was really the only concern. But I don't think it was, I didn't have anybody yelling,
I
saying
didn't
that it's
either.
a horrible idea and we shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything for the most part was very positive and a lot of excitement too.
But I think there's more details that are getting.
Yeah, I was just
worked
gonna
out
say, I don't know,
before
was there anything that was talked about? I know we were talking about ironing out some verbiage and stuff like that. Do you know, did any of that get talked about at all?
between Russ and Myron,
Yeah,
that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't think so.
okay.
Because we came home from our conference and Russ was gone for his.
Good, and I think that, you know, we have time, I think it's till the end of February when the state girls tournament is for basketball. So, I mean, if we need to do a special board meeting to make a decision on the co-op, I think that might not be a bad idea to make sure we have all the information before we make that final decision, so.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think we make any decisions tonight. I guess I'd like to see what the draft contract looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And discuss it there.
Okay.
Did we figure out any, like, the financial end of the co-op stuff at all?
So just some rough numbers, like going off of last year numbers, and this is just like approximate 7 through 12. I tried not to include elementary costs. We spent about $250,000 in coaches and traveling and bus drivers and fees and supplies and
Is that refs too, or not?
officials.
Okay.
And so is that all activities, like speech, everything's included in that?
Anything that I thought would
Okay,
be considered a co-op.
okay,
Like I tried to take out like junior high like because we pay a stipend to the junior high athletics coach, and I know like that wasn't really part of it. So I tried to take out stuff that I didn't feel, so it was mainly, yes, your
Okay.
extracurriculars.
Like high school activity association type stuff,
yeah.
okay. I will bring up too that, we got a call before the meeting from the superintendent over there, and it sounds like they're very interested in trying to work something out grade school wise too. And I don't think it's a terrible idea, the sooner you get them involved together. He did say they'd bring over a coach and help with rounding kids up and making sure that everything's running properly. So keep that in mind as well when we do talk about it at the next time. That's something that they're very interested in doing.
I think it makes sense if you're trying to make a team, let's start them as a team at a young age, so they're working together the whole way out.
Just so as long as we have enough support for the coaches, because little kids are,
Yeah.
Those were big numbers.
those are real big numbers to have in one gym even.
Right.
It's all stuff that doesn't necessarily have to go into the.
Yeah, and it's not something that's part of the actual co-op, but it was something that they brought up that said they were very interested in getting that involved right away too. So, anything else on the co-op discussion? Okay, we'll move on to the Taylor Building Access Fob quotes. Kind of the way it sounds is we're gonna wait for another one anyway, correct?
Yeah, there is a new one in there. The one from Caves is in there in your folder. I think we were hoping that one would look more manageable than the one that we originally got from ETS, but it's very similar. It's just labeled Taylor School is the Caves one. That's the most recent one we got.
So refresh my memory, what all needs to be done over there?
We're looking at putting, the portable right now has no fobs on it at all. So we're looking at putting a fob on just the south side of the portable building.
Okay.
For entrance. I think the biggest cost is coming in because we need like a buzzer system, like we have on the west door to get into the office on the portable as well. So that when students are going back and forth, we're always having to run somebody where like they can't buzz in and then they're locked out at either entrance. You know what I mean? So we were looking at putting the buzzer on the portable as well so that it would buzz into the office so that Bonnie can see who's trying to get into the portable, let them in just like we do from the office now. And then our fob system that we have now on the one door is out of date. So like he was trying to get it, like everything updated to take over that system as well. The quote does include a fob on the bottom south door as well as the north door, which it used to just be an emergency exit, but they use it for the portable, access to the portable up by the main bathrooms there. So those are things that Russ and I talked about could be let go for now. I don't know how important it is to have a fob on the south side, but he wanted it all quoted so that we just had a general, but for sure we need one on the portable with the camera access so that we can get students and staff more efficiently in and out of that space.
I think part of it, they had to change out one door because it wasn't even able to retrofit something, right?
That was
With
the
magnet
ETS one, yeah, so that's why there's a Viking glass quote because they needed to do something with the doors. But the Caves quote, in my understanding, is not anything to do with doors. Like they were just gonna do all mag-lock type stuff and could use the doors that we currently have. Last week when I was gone, New Vision Security came and Russ was over there and explained what we wanted, so I think he's waiting on a quote from that company as well. So just an update, but we're gonna have to do something once we find a quote that's a bit more doable.
Okay, so we'll table that until we get the next quote, or at least the next meeting. We should have a quote by the next meeting, I would assume. If not, we'll make a decision from there. Anything else on fob quotes?
So is there already cameras out by the portable?
There are,
Let's see.
yes. So like the screen in the office over at the portable, like I can access the cameras from my computer. So there's cameras exterior and interior. It's more of just the so that Bonnie can see who's trying to buzz into the portable. Otherwise we're running somebody back and forth to let kids in, or we're calling and then we're disrupting the classrooms over there to let a student in or let somebody in, and so we just needed something to, but we don't want it to be buzzing the portable. We want it to buzz the office so that we have control of unlocking, just like we do the west door right now. But yes, there is camera access currently.
Anything else on the fob quote? Okay, we'll move on to policies, second readings.
Gross's note says, all these policies have been updated to correspond with the decisions at the first reading. If additional changes, they would need a first reading vote again to include those changes, then it would go to a second reading in March. Otherwise, these would be in place if they get a vote of approval for the second reading.
And I think, yeah, these were all ones that we talked about at the last.
Yeah, we went through them line by line last time, right?
Yeah. The only one that we would probably need to look at would be the GAAC-BR, because that's a one reading one, so we may have not gone over that one. It's a procedure for reviewing complaints about instructional resource material.
Wasn't that the one he was gonna like message somebody about? That they were, or was it not that one? Cause it had to do with like the curricular. Wasn't he gonna like message the lawyer to see who usually is on the review committee? I'm making that up. Remember, cause we were talking about if the, like, whoever on the curriculum for the school board wanted to be on that review committee if there was complaints.
I don't remember.
I actually think he was going to. I think I remember him
I
saying.
remember the discussion, but I don't remember if he
Was
needed to
this,
talk
I
to
can't remember if
somebody.
this was that policy, I'm pretty sure it was, but.
It did have something to do with curriculum.
I don't see anything about, well, yeah, okay, so the review committees. Maybe a specialist, teachers, parents, principals, or the superintendent.
Which it's fine how it is, but I just remember we had talked about that.
And I'm pretty sure it would have to say parent or guardian, not in there. Or is parent defined in somewhere else that makes that okay? I don't believe so.
And we can always leave this one on too if we have more questions.
I have more questions.
Okay, we'll leave that like that. So when you're making your motions, keep that in mind when we're going down the list.
Can we do it all in one?
I
We have before.
can, yeah.
I'd make the motion to recognize second readings, all the policies presented, and exclude GAAC-BR.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So we'll have to write that one down for the next meeting. New business. Any discussion was on the business, so I don't know if there's more to talk about.
The special meeting that we're gonna have, is it gonna be with Hebron again, or just like
No, this would be
us?
just us, so yeah, I mean, anybody's welcome to come, obviously,
Yeah.
but, no, it would be just our board, and then, you know, having all the information to make the final decision is, that's what we'll do at the special meeting. Just because we want to make sure that we have everything right before we make a final decision. Superintendent evaluation procedure discussion. Evaluation is due March 15th.
Did Russ give you anything? I talked to him about changing something up, and now we talked at last evaluation time about changing the way that we're evaluating.
Yeah, I didn't get anything this go around.
Will our next meeting fall before March 15th?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice to, I know we talked, because the last evaluation form was very much, you had to be here day-to-day operations to
Well,
really
yeah.
evaluate it properly, you
I feel
know.
like we asked for quite a bit.
Is he back Friday? Okay, I'll reach out to him on Friday and him and I will talk about it.
I'm sure there'll be a self part of it and then send it out to us to go through it again and then
Right. Okay.
try to get something.
Okay. CD renewal. Actually, do we have any more discussion on that? Sorry. No. Okay. CD renewal. Amber has the information.
So we just have, one of our CDs is up for another 6 months if you wanna renew it. Currently, the rates are 3.5 the last I looked.
That's what they're gonna be
Yeah.
if we renew. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's better than any,
Are we gonna get it any better anywhere else?
I mean, sitting in a savings account, it's not gonna get that, so. Are we gonna need it for anything? I know the next one probably renews in 3 months, so I can't imagine we need
yeah.
anything between now and then.
We shouldn't.
Motion to renew the CD.
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in the favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, then move on to the 22-23 audit review and possible motion. The 22-23 audit has been completed and presented. Amber will have information for you. It was difficult to get this because there was a lot of questions which Amber and I
Couldn't.
okay, I was gonna assume that's what it was, couldn't answer since we were not here in 22-23.
It's in your board folder.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess, I mean, it's completed, that's what they sent us. From what I saw, I mean, they didn't seem to have any concerns.
Anybody have any questions on the audit?
Through it, so everything was satisfactory or whatever.
Yeah.
What kind of motion do you need, I guess, do you need to accept
Do we
the
have to-
audit?
Approve the
Yeah,
audit?
you just have to
Okay.
approve it.
Motion to approve the audit as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Next is the Title I and ELP position.
I can talk about it.
Okay.
We interviewed 2 candidates last week, Russ and Mrs. C and I, and we made an offer to Brianna Moore, to do Title I EL. She is currently doing, EL in Dickinson now, strictly EL. Title I and EL tie closely together, which I didn't really fully process until visiting with her. But she did verbally accept the position over the phone when I contacted her. So what Russ said that we do need board approval to hire Mrs. Moore for Title I and EL.
So she's gonna work in Taylor and Richardson then?
Um,
That's the plan, or what's the?
So I'm not sure how much Russ has talked to Misty about it, but his thoughts on it were Title I math, because our current Title I math person will be coming over to 5th grade next year. So she will be in Taylor for Title I math. She will be the EL teacher, EL coordinator for the district, EL teacher for the elementary school. And then his hope is that we can have a more solid foundation for those English language learners as they come up here, so that we are being able to test them out of that program sooner. And then she will help more with the paperwork side to make sure we're in compliance with all of the stuff that we need to be in compliance for EL. So kind of district-wide EL coordinator to go do the paperwork and make sure all our ducks are in a row there, specifically do the teaching of the EL, and then be a resource for the high school.
Will she do the assessments too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I do believe that because currently we're using, the gal from WERC is doing all of our assessments for our EL students, so she will take over doing those assessments, writing the ILP, is doing that sort of stuff as well, district-wide.
How many EL students we got? K through 12 right now, you know?
I have 5.
I will have 2. Yeah. And some of yours are out, like tested out.
Yeah, so we just have to monitor them, and
Progress
they still have to
monitoring.
just watch what classes they're in to progress their English.
So those don't take like assessments, like the progress monitoring is not the same as the assessments that are given for those who are actually still in and qualified for EL services.
And if they qualify for the programs, then they either have EL or title minutes where they're working on specific English language learning. So mine would be covered by a title teacher in-house, except the paperwork and the assessments.
So we need a motion to,
Approve the hire versus more, yeah.
I'll move to approve the hire of Brianna Moore for Title I and EL position.
I'll second that. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. What do we have next? Discussions. Okay. You want me to read that?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, the staffing discussions.
Oh, I can explain without his notes.
Okay.
So.
That's kind of what I was looking at. I was hoping
Sorry.
that was gonna happen.
So we have Chris Bartz for 5 and 6 titles. She has been helping out with junior high when possible. She goes between the 2 classes. Next year we'll have 3, and then the year after that we'll have 4. So next year she'll have even more limited time to pull any title kids whatsoever. The titles teachers that we have in the high school, according to their schedule, doesn't line up with junior high at any specific time, and it hasn't for years, so that's why we've always pulled the elementary person to help out cover that title. So Alexia Tutterow is your English high school, and then Colleen Graham is the math for high school, and they can cover 9 through 12. And so we pull out of study halls or something specifically where it's not a core class that they can come out and do those minutes. So we really need to have someone for 7th and 8th grade and then cover those EL minutes, because Chris is not going to be able to cover EL minutes as much because she's going to be pulled into another classroom too. So ours would be title. Now with that, with the split classes at Taylor, to cover all their PE would pull the couple hours that Mr. Miller is covering here. And what we do that the board voted on a few years ago is that to have the weights program so that there'd be a teacher in the gym doing games, and then the other half would be taken out with the other teacher to do the weights, and then they'd swap because the weight room isn't that big and you can't put a whole bunch of people out there. And I for surely can't send them out with one teacher, because if you think elementary kids can get in trouble, the safety of the high school kids is an issue. And they're good kids, but the safety is an issue. Sometimes they'll try things when the teacher's helping someone else. So we have had to very much limited our weight program this year because we don't have that split right now. I know Cassie has done some groups where you're watching and switching and doing things like that, but it's not as functional. You have a lot of sitting around and standing around. So then if we would have that title position, then that person would also need to cover 2 classes to split PE to keep weights.
So are we thinking this would be a full-time position?
It would be a full-time position. And it almost would be best to look for a title position that someone can help out with PE, because Cassie is more than qualified to just cover all weights by herself. And I don't, so it'd be someone that could get qualified in PE if they don't have it. An elementary teacher would have all of it, they could be title and PE, but to help out with high school, we would have to get them credentialed for high school.
So we have PE and weights going on at the same time?
Yep.
And there's no way to really change.
If we put them in separate hours, which we can, it takes away from your other electives. So then they get less credits in those other electives, but you also have less numbers in those electives to create the functionality of that course. So it would pull out of your music program, your tech program, business.
So
So that's why we have it together.
if you have a para, can a para do PE when where is the weight room compared to the gym? I guess
Outside the gym. Yeah, because I actually asked,
You gotta go through the locker room essentially.
yeah, it's out back, it's in a separate room. So I actually asked Russ and the state if we could have anyone really cover in the gym. If Cassie is the head of both,
Right.
she's out in the weight room, and I was told no. Because she wouldn't be in the same vicinity.
So they have to have the PE
Yeah,
endorsement.
and that was just for the safety and liability.
Right.
And then if we wouldn't do that as a full-time, I'd still need a 3/4 title, and I don't know if I would find a 3/4 title. I don't need a full-time title, but we for sure need a 3/4. So it would be a title person that could be with their English, their math, and then all their study halls and breakouts, so that that person is assisting really efficient.
With the staffing discussion and all the stuff that all the teachers their different jobs and this different stuff they're doing, I would like a list of what the teachers are doing, what their job title is, I guess, and then what their qualifications are. I would like to have an idea who does what around here. I don't spend enough time at the school and know enough of the teachers to actually even have an idea what everybody does. So if Russ or what do you
Actually, do you want me to grab your schedule?
Yes.
Because that shows exactly what they teach where and what hours.
Okay, yeah, I would like that, but I'd also like what they're actually responsible for, any other outside of extracurricular activity or anything like that, I guess, just
Okay.
so I have an idea what the teachers have.
Mhm.
And then also like, what they're qualified for, I guess what they're, if this teacher's qualified for PE and this teacher isn't, or I guess I don't know how it all breaks
Right.
down, but
Yeah,
I'm sure.
right now.
Or one of you guys can get me that.
Yep, we both have it. Right now, if we would ask someone to help out with PE, if they're credentialed, we would have to pay them for their prep or extra for those hours, because it would take away their prep, because they have full schedules.
Yeah, I'm not, I just want that for
Yep.
general knowledge, I guess.
Yep, nope, that's good. I can get that to you. I can grab it for you right after the meeting.
Is there any other staffing needs we need besides the PE title?
I know that I have one para that is gonna wanna finish her teaching degree, so I'm gonna, when she gives me her letter, we'll have to look for a para at that time. I don't have anything else at that time, but not extra, no.
So for this position, is it something that we can like approve receiving applications on and then make the decision, you know, kind of, I want to give us ample opportunity to try to find somebody, but I also want to see if there's like, I'm not saying there's not the need for it, obviously there's a need for it, but if there's other avenues to explore or, you know, anything else. So if we say, yeah, we can open it, but let's not offer anything until, because I'm assuming it's got to be listed for a certain amount of time and.
Yeah,
So with this, you said your para is going to graduate into a teacher, is that correct?
no, she has a year left and she needs to go finish and then student teach, but there's some other things too. So, that she is focusing on and hoping to come back, to be honest.
As a teacher?
And then just to keep in mind with the Fayed, our bigger split classes are gonna come up, so if for some reason we wouldn't hire someone to split those high school classes, then I'd for sure have to have an extra pair in there to help Cassie. Because it's gonna be packed.
So right now, Mr. Miller's coming over, but we need to leave him and Taylor because of the split classes, cause all the kindergartners are together,
I think they
right?
don't have enough time to cover their classes.
Correct, so like right
Since we're
now,
split.
he's got all 26 of the kindergartners at the same time, cause with the decision being made too late in the school year or too late before school started, we just did it that way, cause we didn't wanna finagle with the high school schedule, cause that was already done, and so we couldn't do it then, but 26 kindergartners in gym isn't working great. And so I imagine, I subbed PE today, so I feel his pain. We need him like 8th hour, I guess right now he's coming over 7th. I never know the time, so 7th and 8th.
To come 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th is what it was, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But last year Cassie was only over there in the morning. Like she left around like 11:15. PE was done. That was when all classes were. They just went to gym and music together. And then with the split, but we still needed them over here. We needed him over here 7th and 8th hour. So and I really just need him 7th. Like I for sure need him to stay another like 25-30 minute period, and then his travel time to get back over here. But I think 7th period is the issue. It's not even 8th period, because I think
6th and 7th.
he's got a study hall 8th
Yeah.
right now, so like that's not the
6th
problem.
and 7th is the issue.
How do you guys feel about approving to post for the job? But I think I'd just like to gather more information.
Yeah, I don't understand how all the schedules, I guess, work. I'm sure that there's a need that I do wanna,
Right.
I wanna look at all that.
So I think we can allow them to post for the position to see what we get for applicants, and then
Don't offer to.
be able to. Because is that a realistic time frame between now and the next board meeting to make a decision? If it's, I mean, if we say, yeah, go ahead and post for it, I mean, is that too long of a time? Let's say you post for it tomorrow and you get applicants next week.
Then I would just communicate with you, and then we would, I mean, you guys have special board meetings and other things
Right.
coming up, so,
Because I wrote down to talk to Russ about this as well, so.
yeah.
I'll talk to him Friday on it, or Monday. I'm sure he's probably gonna have a
Yeah.
lot on his plate on Friday, but, or if he, depending on what time he gets back, Thursday or whatever. Is that tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. It is
I think
Thursday.
he comes home tomorrow night, cause he's here Friday for training.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about that?
I think that's fine, because we're gonna have another board meeting before the end of this month.
Yeah.
And
Right, and that's something we can always add on.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to advertise but not offer any jobs yet for a title /PE teacher. Is that what it is?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? One thing I do have a quick question for, how difficult is it gonna be to find somebody that fits that?
Let's find
Because
out.
I mean,
I don't know, I'm always really surprised, like sometimes we have, between both schools, have put out stuff like, who would have known we'd find a title /EL, you know, it's like,
Especially in the middle of the school year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
I
really-
mean, I'm always very surprised about different things, I mean, I would hope it would be, I guess, if we're looking, I would prefer it to be either an elementary teacher that's willing to do title for junior high, because they're going to know their math and English very well,
And they're qualified.
and they're qualified.
So, yeah.
The PE is an addition, but elementary teachers also have their PE, so to get their high school PE isn't that hard. If they already have it.
Right.
To qualify them for 9 through 12 isn't huge.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
Okay.
all elementary teachers are qualified for PE then,
Through 8th grade.
through 8th grade? Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, open enrollments.
Okay, I have 5 of them. 3 of them are students that are already here. They were on tuition waiver, so we need to do their open enrollment before the deadline. So we have 3 of them, Bradstreets and Nighthearts, that are already here, so if you wanna look at them. And I do think Russ, I said before, you gotta approve one at a time, or family at a time.
Family at a time.
Yeah. So there's 2 of the Bradstreet girls and then 1 Nightheart. Already counted in our enrollment, they're currently here, just need to switch them from tuition waiver to open enrollment.
So,
Yeah. Move to approve, what you mean, each one?
you'd have to do the Bradstreet family and then the Nightheart family separate.
Move to approve the Bradstreet family for open enrollment.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Move to approve the Nightheart family for open enrollment.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, and then the others that I have are a new family. They actually have been in our community, but they're taking their children to Medora currently. And they just have some changes happening that they want to bring our kids to our school district. It is going to be, next year will be a kindergartner and a 3rd grader. The Bower Boom family, I think is how you say that. Is that right? Okay. So those ones will be new. The 3rd grade class, obviously all elementary classrooms split is not a concern there. And then kindergarten right now, we are doing enrollment and enrollment is still open. Like we still have kindergarten enrollment open. With this kindergartner, we'd have 21, so still wiggle room there to split with kindergarten next year as well.
I move to approve the boardroom family.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, next is RACTC.
Was at our dual board meeting. What was going on, so we're thinking.
Okay.
With that, there's a meeting coming up with RACTC with Stephen and myself and Mrs. Mason. They asked that a board member be present. Can I send you that information and see if you can make that?
No.
It would make sense maybe to.
That'd be good. You know when it is.
Let me look. I'll get back to you.
Okay, WERC report. It says WERC is in the planning stages of a teacher/substitute teacher para convention this summer. They offered this last summer and it was a great success. They're trying to build on that and get more people to attend. That's what we have for that.
RACTC meeting is April 14th at 2 p.m. on Zoom, so even if you can't make it in the building, we can throw you on Zoom.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a long time from now.
Okay, does anybody have anything else? Next meeting will be March 11th, pending any special meetings, of course.
Can we decide a meeting for that, for the co-op thing, or we're just gonna wait for?
Well, I'll talk to Russ on Friday. I got that written down as well,
Okay.
just so we can make sure that everybody's gonna be available
Yeah,
for it.
that's
So
kinda what I was
I'll send something, I or Russ will send something out on Friday, Monday, something like that.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, meeting is adjourned.